Play How Will Zeke's absence affect Prescott's development? 057 Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith break down the short and long-term ramifications of Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension on Dak Prescott. 057800 Oxnard, California. Quick, who was the Dallas Cowboys' second leading rusher last season? Don't use Google, just make a guess. It was Dak Prescott. He had 282 yards on 57 carries. The last time a Cowboys quarterback finished second on the team in rushing came in 1989 when Troy Aikman had 302 yards on 38 carries. The same Aikman who became a Hall of Famer and never had more than 125 yards rushing in a season after his rookie year. What's underappreciated about Troy Aikman is how great of an athlete he was, Coach Jason Garrett said. He's a phenomenal athlete. He could move around and his drops were as good as any drops in the history of the NFL. If there was ever a chance to run, he ran. Big, strong, athletic guy. So it doesn't surprise me one bit. Dak Prescott's 6 rushing touchdowns last season were a franchise single-season record for a quarterback. Photo by Andrew Debicon. SportsWire. Cowboys history is littered with some great improvisational plays by such quarterbacks as Roger Staubach, Don Meredith and Tony Romo, but the difference with Prescott is the designed runs called for him. A year ago, the Cowboys incorporated the zone read that Prescott ran so well at Mississippi State into their offense. He went untouched for a score in one game because of the play fake to Ezekiel Elliott. Prescott's 6 rushing touchdowns were a franchise single-season record for a quarterback. With Elliott starring at a 6-game suspension pending the result of an appeal, Prescott will be asked to do more, but maybe not run more in 2017. If Elliott is out, the Cowboys will rely on their tailbacks Darren McFadden, Rod Smith and Alfred Morris to make up for the absence of last season's leading rusher. He's going to run anyway because of his game, his mobility, but I think you're going to lean on the side of picking your times when you do it, offensive coordinator Scott Linehan said of Prescott. I think if you do it a lot it certainly can be a little bit of a distraction to what you're trying to do. That's why you have runners. But when a quarterback has that element, it's an advantage. So I think the key to quarterbacks running is they know what kind of a run we're trying to get. If they can't get 3 yards and we want 4 yards, 3 yards is okay, too. Don't take hits. That's my approach anyway. Staubach built a Hall of Fame career with winning, passing and the ability to improvise with his feet. One of his many nicknames was Roger the Dodger. Tom Landry was not pleased all the time when Staubach ran. He didn't want the risk of injury. Since Prescott took over, Staubach has offered advice on a number of topics, on and off the field. He likes my game and I don't know if it's because he ran and I run or whatever it is, Prescott said. Just advice here and there. More people play on ESPN than anywhere else. Join or create a league in the #1 fantasy football game. Sign up for free among quarterbacks. Prescott's 282 yards ranked 8th in the NFL last season. Buffalo's Tyrod Taylor had the most with 580 yards on 95 carries. Colin Kaepernick was second with 468 yards on 69 carries, running Chip Kelly's offense for the San Francisco 49ers. From Taylor, Carolina's Cam Newton 90 carries, 359 yards, Tennessee's Marcus Mariota 60 carries, 349 yards, Indianapolis' Andrew Luck 64 carries, 341 yards to Prescott. Offenses are evolving more with the quarterback's legs in mind. At least a little. The Cowboys studied how Mississippi State used Prescott. They look at how other teams in the NFL design runs for their quarterback. It's certainly a challenge for the defense. We know that from the defensive side of the ball when we face quarterbacks who are able to do that, Garrett said. It just adds another guy. It's another guy you have to defend. Oftentimes you can look at defensive football versus offensive football as 11 versus 10. You have an extra guy on defense. You add that element of the quarterback running, now we balance it all back up. Whether it's being responsible for Dak or contain or just that guy, it can be a challenge. It was effective for us when we used it last year. It's effective for teams all around the league. It won't become a staple of the Cowboys' offense, even with Elliott scheduled to miss 6 games. They don't want to risk Prescott to injury even if he is 6'2", 238 pounds. During training camp, Prescott has broken off a few long runs in the zone read. I'll leave that up to the coaches, Prescott said. I mean, it's not necessarily in my hands to create more game plans for me running, but if I had to guess, I would say I wouldn't think so just in the fact I said we have the running backs who have done it in this league for a long time, so it's not a panic here.